Hello, this is Joey J. Ping here checking in live, respectmyregion.com. We're back with another episode of the California Cannabis Podcast. Today, our episode brought to you guys by Infinite Chemical Analysis Labs, aka Infinite Cal. Man, these guys are the most trusted resource that I've found in the game, Michigan, California, for accurate test results, folks. These are people that put their time, their money into safe cannabis for the consumers, and I think that's huge. Potency testing, terpene analysis, R&D, heavy metals, pesticides, all the things that these brands are required to do, they do it, and they do it with a science backing. They're not here to take your money for numbers and THC. They care about accurate dosing. And the cool part is, guys, is that these guys were actually recommended to me via the homies Beard Bros. So first off, big shout out to the Beard Bros, and of course, shout out to our sponsor. But the episode, everybody, is not about them. I've got Kyle McFarlin over here. He's the director of medical partnerships for Emerald Bay Extracts, which is an RSO-centric brand here in California's recreational adult use cannabis market. But in a world where high THC is everything, and the latest strain, lemon cherry gelato or runs or Skittles or whatever it is all the craze. Emerald Bay Extracts continues to stay consistent, science-driven, medical focus, and you guys are growing. So, Kyle, welcome to the show. Happy Monday. How you living today?
Oh, living great. Living great. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Of course, it's a pleasure to have you. You guys are arguably, I think, I'll go ahead and say it. Papa and Barkley fell off in the medical space here once they sold. They just did. And I'd say you guys have filled the space in my life as the most popular, my go-to medical brand. I know the other brand does a lot of great things in a variety of products, but RSO is the magic medicine in cannabis. People don't know enough about it. It's a underloved, underappreciated category. But when push comes to shove and someone's literally almost dying or going through it or struggling or their skin's on fire or my insides are falling out, like, man, I turn to RSO, man, every time. And oftentimes, Kyle, I turn to your guys' products. And so it's an honor to have you on the show. Kyle, Director of Medical Partnerships, Emerald Bay Extracts. For the people that don't know, who are you, what do you do, and what does the company do? Three-part question.
Yeah. So obviously, I'm Kyle McFarlin, the Director of Medical Partnerships for Emerald Bay. Trying to bridge the gap between patients, providers, doctors to get patients medical cannabis at a low cost and a high quality. So Emerald Bay Extracts is a strain-specific RSO company, really focused on the medical side as well as the high-tolerance cannabis consumer side as well.
I like that because I'll never forget how I didn't know much about RSO, and frankly, the bartenders I talked to never do either. But they knew about Blue Dream. And so when I asked for a Blue Dream and they searched it up, they were like, well, we got a Blue Dream pre-roll. It's $5. You don't want that. Oh, we got Blue Dream 8th. It's outdoor. This brand isn't so good. They're not known for great weed. Oh, we got Blue Dream RSO pills. That's a strain specific thing. I don't know anything about it. I haven't had it, but it's still Blue Dream. And that's how I discovered you guys back in 2020, 2021, something along those lines. And ever since then, I have been bugging you guys, buying it, holding on to your samples after Hall of Flowers. I love what you guys do. The tablets, the strain specificity, it's really helped myself and my mother manage various things over the years. And I really appreciate what you guys do to help keep people like that safe, people like us safe and feeling better. Can you go ahead and give us a 101, Kyle? What is RSO for the bud tenders out there? Break it down for us, please.
Yeah, so RSO is a full spectrum oil. What we do is we use an ethanol base extraction, and we strip all of the properties from the plant in harnessing it into an oil. So you've got
a bunch of ethanol, swishing it over the plant.
Swishing it around. Yeah. I mean, getting it all into an alcohol-based tincture, and then it goes into a little bit of a process where we heat it up, decarboxylate it down into the oil, and then we put it into the syringe or into the tablets, now into our olive oil-based tincture. What the average consumer can expect is getting all the beneficial properties that you find from the plant in the oil. And, in a climate where distillate has kind of become, the run-of-the-mill gummy, edible, what have you, this allows for a full spectrum high. You get the entourage effect, and everybody always talks about it, but I don't think it's touched on quite enough. Like the entourage effect really is where you're feeling it when you smoke it, when you ingest a tincture. You're getting all the beneficial qualities, the terpenes, the flavonoids, the cannabinoids, all harnessed into one to hit your endocannabinoid system at full strength.
And what people don't know is that when you're eating an edible, such as like something that has to truly be digested, go through the liver and all that good stuff, you lose a portion of the cannabinoids and the THC there. When you're smoking it, you actually lose it in the oxygen and the inhale and the exhale. And so you might think you're getting a 36% flower or pre-roll and smoking it and getting that. You're not. The science says you're not.
Yep.
Edibles, you might think you're buying a 10%, a 10 milligram gummy. Your body actually is going to flush out most of that. Whereas your guys' products, I believe, are sublingual in the caps in the tablet form. No, or do they go through?
They can be sublingual. It'll get a little chalky, but you would ingest it.
So not something that's something you eat or swallow versus
yeah. So I mean, it'll still bypass through the liver. You'll still get everything that you're benefiting from. I think the tinctures that we're just putting out, the RSO based tinctures, are going to be the next greatest thing, right? Because it's going to go in through your gums, through your saliva glands, and then it's going to hit different parts of your tissue, go into your liver as well. You're going to get that full spectrum high that you're looking for.
Why do people prefer that full spectrum high versus, say, a distillate high or even a live resin or one of these like extract specific infusions? Like, why do we want this style of oil extraction method versus rosin or versus live resin or distillate? Why do you believe that?
Yeah, I mean, I believe the RSO is going to give you everything that you're looking for, right? When you get the entourage effect from a full spectrum oil, you're getting everything within the plant, right? So you're getting all of these beneficial qualities. You're getting, minor cannabinoids, major cannabinoids such as Delta 9. You're getting minor ones, CBD, CBD, CBG even. It's going to give you a much more rounder high where, there's some gummies that I've taken, you kind of just feel like you're gripping for dear life, right? RSO will hit you a little bit smoother. It'll come on. It'll still be really strong and hard hitting, but it's not going to make you just paranoid, off the walls high. You're just going to...
Or just stuck.
Yeah.
Or just completely stuck. I noticed that RSO for me, I take two kinds of products for RSO. Stuff that's pain centric and like high ratios or very similar ratioed. What did I just send to my mom? A 350 THC milligram with like a 370 or 430 milligram CBD, something pretty close to balanced out. And then I sent her basically a true 1-to-1, and I sent her something that's made for sleep. So that way you take a little bit of the other ones and then you put sleep on top of that and kind of make that perfect situation depending on the time. But I have found that the products either make it A, I knock the fuck out and I go to sleep, or B, there's the energy ones like the Blue Dreams and some of those uplifting strains, which are great for during the day, the clarity, the pain free. For me, I get stiff, Kyle. As soon as I get stiff and I start hurting, I start getting tired and I get sleepier faster,
Yeah.
But when I would intake your guys' Blue Dream pills and some of these other ones, I couldn't help but notice that, wow, I went from being negative on the gas tank to back up to normal, maybe even into the positive, right? And it's so crazy how that can work. Can you talk a little bit about the science of how these cannabinoids interact with our bodies and can have these effects? Because this RSO, is it leaving more cannabinoids than other oils, or what's the magic there on the COA? Like what's left in this oil standpoint?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to decarboxylation process, right? I think we do a very good job at curating quality strains. We triple test everything, make sure that it has cannabinoids in it that we want. Our most popular strain right now is our white CBG. CBG just, it's flying off the shelves. We can't keep it in stock long enough. But
Wow.
it's these minor cannabinoids that people are finding within the strains that they're benefiting from. Like you had mentioned, not everybody wants to be stuck in the couch or knocked out. They want to be able to, go about their day. Take,
Yeah, man. Sometimes
yeah,
I like to snack, but sometimes I want it to be sour snacks, or maybe I want it to be, a little bit have some caffeine in it because I'm going out, and I don't want to drink my caffeine. I'd rather chew it. Right? There's so many different subtleties to each strain, and in your guys' case, each formulation at the end of the day, because you're
yeah,
formulating these products.
yeah. Each strain is going to offer something different, right? Like a super silver haze, that's going to give you ton of energy. It's going to make you want to move around. That might be not be the best for somebody with anxiety, but somebody with anxiety that wants to get through the day, a blue dream is going to be perfect for them, right? It's not going to give you crazy energy, but it's still going to keep you awake, kind of put you in a little state. If you're a creative type, that's something that people look for too. Um, that's kind of that really is the whole point of being strain specific, right? People have these strains that they know, they love, they look forward to finding on the shelves. I always refer to people, you're not going to walk into a dispensary and you're not going to pick out, oh, I just want any indica right off the shelf. I don't care which one it is. You're going to walk in, you're going to look for a strain that you've tried, you like. Same thing with RSO oil, right? You're going to want to have something that you trust, the effects that it's going to give you, whether it's a hybrid, a one-to-one, white CBG, something that you can trust. And I really feel like that's what Emerald Bay is truly about with the mission that we've set out to bring.
Kyle, how long have you been with the group?
I've been with Emerald Bay going on 6 years now, since
Woo!
2019. Yeah, it
Wow.
was.
Yeah. So since I have been a fan and been here in California, you've been there the entire time. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I was brought on the first in-house salesperson. Kind of, my job was to take product to market, and we're in just over 450 dispensaries statewide now. Yeah, making big work, and the sales team crushes it. I mean, absolutely crushes it. They work really hard to get us into just about every dispensary that wants to carry us on their shelves. And the culture that Emerald Bay brings is unlike any other work culture I've ever been a part of.
I'm happy to hear that. As a fan of the brand, it's always great to hear how one of the day the first sales rep hire going back 6 years and giving props to the team and all that. That's sounds awesome to hear. It makes me feel good knowing that I support you guys. Um, but the product, its success, the brand success. You could have as many great people as you want there, but it's got to be a great product. It's got to be good. It's
Yeah,
got to be. There's clearly some love and some passion into there. Um, as the director of medical, partnerships and all that kind of stuff. Like, what does that entail for you guys? What are the kinds of things that you work on? Are you supporting the retailers? Are you doing events or a little bit of the above? Well, what is a day like? Being a medical cannabis brand in an adult use rec world.
yeah. It's certainly exciting. It's never a dull day around here for me. Yeah, supporting retailers however we can. A big thing that I work on is compassion work with State Bill 34, the Brownie Mary and Dennis Perone Act.
SB34, love that. Shout out that entire program and the people involved.
It's amazing to be a part of, being able to give back to the very patients that got us here legally, from back in the 215 days. It's something special to be a part of. Doing a lot of work with doctors, trying to bridge that gap, having them understand our products, provide them COAs to hopefully recommend to different patients across California. I know we get a lot of patient outreach, connecting patients with dispensaries that are close by, making sure we can get them, either some free product, maybe some low cost if they're in a little bit of a money crunch. But we have something that's out there for everyone. And it's really special being a part of this company from the medical background that our owners have. Our owner, Casey, she comes from Stanford Medical Center. She was an oncology and hematology nurse.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. She saw the benefits that cancer patients were having and really wanted to provide a product that was clean, was tested, it's safe, it's trustworthy. And her and her husband Thomas have really focused and driven that home with everybody here to have the passion for cannabis. It's just amazing.
Gotta help people. This is a helping people brand.
Yeah,
It's a business, but we're in the business, especially with Emerald Bay Extracts, we're in the business of helping people, like
absolutely.
through and through. And I know, having DM'd with you guys in the past, that your involvement in the community, which the products and strains and SKUs that you create and offer. There's a lot of intentionality just about helping people build that goes into each one of those.
Yeah, and I mean the intentionality goes all the way down to the farmers that we cultivate the cannabis from. We
Yeah.
try to work with small craft farmers, keep that love and that support alive. We really try to bring fairness to the table, right? We know we're not going to be the biggest brand out there with every dispensary under our belt, but we really support every retailer. We support bud tenders. We go out, we do events. Shout out to the sales team. They go out and they handle their brand ambassadors. They're out there, feet on the ground. It's quite amazing what we can do with the staff that we have.
Yeah, I mentioned the that other medical wellness brand that used to be so big out here, and I don't think I've heard of any other brand that has some of these products that you guys offer in 450 locations. I think you guys are definitely the top of the top for that, which is cool because that means RSO is getting to the people, Kyle. It's
Yeah,
what it's about. If RSO is moving off the shelf, that's great for the retailers. It's great for you guys, but I also believe heavily in that product's efficacy in improving people's lives. Can you talk a little bit about your guys' top products and SKUs and what they were created for, and talk a little bit about their success? For a flower brand, that'd be, what's your best eighth, what's your exotic, or what's your OG?
yeah.
What are your heavy hitters for you guys? What, and I don't mean potency, unless that's a heavy hitter for you.
No, absolutely. First off, it's got to be our bestseller, White CBG. It's been great for Crohn's patients, people with IBS, inflammation.
This is all me right here. I need to go cop this. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody from weightlifters, MMA fighters, they're all using it to help with inflammation.
Yeah, the recovery, I would imagine, is so much more improved with an RSO product.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, that really has been the number one product for us. I would say number two would be our Indica ice cream cake. We really,
Okay.
really love that strain. It's pretty much a staple on our menu. We had a 3-year-old cancer patient named Marley Joe. I was working with her back in 2021. She was stage 4 with rhabdomyosarcoma. She was using our products. She got up to a gram a day with her mom. Her mom was giving her a gram a day. She was going into chemotherapy still, and I don't think she had to do radiation. I'm not certain on that. But within months, they were seeing the tumor shrink, right? This was in conjunction with using our products with chemotherapy.
Right.
And now on April 21st, she just celebrated her 7th birthday. So
That's cool.
huge
Wow.
shout out. She's cancer free. Ice cream cake was the strain that she used. She got up to a gram a day, and now she uses that as a daily maintenance. I'm still in really good contact with her and her family. It's just been such a joy watching people benefit from it. And there's countless people out there. I would say third up on the line would be our high CBD. That's been an absolute just favorite for people. I know a lot of the older demographic has been using the CBD tablets. It's a lot. The tablets themselves are just so much more discreet than having a gummy laying around or anything. The packaging in itself, just keep it in your medicine cabinet. Nobody would know the difference.
Yeah.
The tablets are a huge hit. That's the number one. We've got 25, 50, and 100 milligram tablets, all at 1,000 milligrams. You won't pay any more for the size of the tablet. At the end of the day, it's all 1,000 milligrams, and that's really what we want to give people.
Yeah, I mean, there's these rules and stipulations in place here, and in all the different states that are unique to each area about potency, about testing. about all these different things to help create, some form of level for
Yep.
people to correlate these things to, whether it's accurate or whether you can equate THC to and how you feel, or terps and how you feel. It's all subjective. Weed's different for everybody, but it's interesting to see you guys incorporate such a higher level of science, cannabinoids, and these formulations into that. Where'd you guys come up with the name? What was where did that come from? How did that come about?
Yeah. So the name comes from Emerald Bay in Lake Tahoe.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I had first met the owners of the company. They live up in Lake Tahoe. I was living up there for about 12 years and found a job posting. Went to in an interview with Thomas, and we hit it off. He offered me the position, and I said, "Why not? Let's do it." I've always had this passion for cannabis. Used to grow quite a bit in my younger years, and then wanted to transfer over to something different. I really feel like the message that they had was what I was looking for.
Yeah.
You know,
The culture of this industry is a lot of flower and hype and culture, and but it's like the dominating aspects of the culture. It doesn't cover the full breadth. And people, a lot of brands talk about medical wellness, and they use that phrase, Kyle, patience over profits, right? Not a lot of people really live up to that.
yeah. And I think, we're trying to set the standard right now for that. We're trying to be that company that is patient first, right? If you reach out to our info at emeraldbayextracts.com, that email is either going to get to me or one of the owners, and we reply within a day or two. You know, happy to help people, happy to find a strain, happy to find a dispensary close by that has our products.
Yeah.
We are very patient first, and we take it seriously too. When a patient reaches out to us for whatever reason, I mean, I'm quick to jump at it. How can I help you? How can I get you some product? Where are you located? Here's what you need to get your MMIC card. Here's how you can save on some taxes. Really try to be there for the patient. I mean, we wouldn't be in this climate that we're at without Prop 215. Prop 215 was the foundation for which this whole legalization was built on. I mean,
Right.
we can't forget the medical patients, because at the end of the day, Dennis Perone said it perfectly. At the end of the day, everybody's a medical patient, whether they like to admit it or not. And I try to take that phrase with me and apply it to everything that I do here. Is, whether it's somebody that they have a high tolerance, they're taking 100 milligrams every few hours, we've got something for them. Or if they're a low dose, we've got a tincture that you can hit 5 milligrams at a time with. We've got something that's there for everybody. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about RSO, about the company, the culture that we bring. I mean, the mission statement alone says it all.
I rock with all that, and share the same energy and passion for RSO, and specifically with you guys as well. I've got a couple more questions about the farms that you were mentioning that you partnered with.
Yeah.
That was a part that kind of was interesting to me. Uh, you know, the supply chain of an RSO tablet tincture company is an interesting thing to try to unpack. You guys got probably have machines for a variety of stuff, or probably people doing stuff. But then you go back up the chain and it goes to the farms, right? For the material. Are you guys extracting it yourself? Are you buying oil? What is that like for you guys? How does this RSO get created? Once and are these your farms or partner farms, or how does that work at this point?
Yeah, they're partnered farms. Get a lot of biomass from right here in Nevada City, where our manufacturing plant is, our manufacturing lab. We also work with farmers up in Emerald Triangle all the way down to Santa Barbara. A lot of it is done by, I shouldn't say a lot of it, all of it is done by our CEO, Thomas. He goes out there, he fosters these relationships. He makes sure that the farmers are well taken care of. We don't try to nickel and dime people. We pay fair market price for trim. It's important to us. All the manufacturing for everything, all the way down to the oil, to the tablets, to the tinctures, is all done in-house. We've made custom equipment for all of this. Our tincture machine was custom made. Our tablet presses have been custom made. It's really been a labor of love. We have about 20 people downstairs from us, working, 10-hour days, 4 days a week, and really trying to crush it out. And they release 2 to 3 strains a week. It's pretty incredible what everybody can do around here.
Yeah, that sounds dope to hear about the custom machinery. Not something I haven't heard, but never for these categories of products, right? Like, been in a couple facilities, or even not a couple, but numerous ones that create not necessarily tablets, but definitely the tinctures. And to hear people just the customization coming in and the innovation to solve problems, I think that's super creative and also inspiring there. Um, and I was thinking earlier a little bit about, like, each of these minor cannabinoids. Are you guys just taking like the individual strain? Is it nugs? You mentioned trim. Like, how do you guys get these different cannabinoids from the extraction from, like, people, actual people growing, like, if they're not isolates, right? And this is coming from actual biomass. Like, how do we get these perfect formulated ratios in these pills? Like,
Yeah,
I just
it's
I don't know. That part was still mind. I forget what the phrase is, but like, mind bottling was what Will Ferrell said.
yeah. I'm just gonna bottle it up here. But yeah, it's pretty incredible. A lot of it comes from our farmers. We don't do any isolates. We don't manipulate any of the oils. We do a lot of testing. The farmers are really cool with working with us, especially the ones that produce CBD flower. Yeah, we use bucked, unbucked flower, trim, whatever we can get our hands on, as long as it provides the potency that we need. If it's got a highlight of a major cannabinoid in that, we really try to work with them to keep that strain going so that we can hit it. The big one is the white CBG. The farm that we work with is absolutely great to work with. They have it down to a science of being able to crop it right when CBG is the highest. And we take it, we turn it into the RSO, and that's what we get. As far as the formulations, it's a bunch of calculations. Like I had mentioned,
I just picture like Breaking Bad,
yeah,
like
yeah.
in the
Yeah, it looks a lot like that sometimes. Our CEO, he is amazing and brilliant, and he does all of these formulations and makes sure he gets it right. He works really closely with the lab director, with the extractors, making sure that they get it right. It is a labor of love, and it's not easy. So I give big kudos out to the production team. They really make it easy for us to sell, right? Like, our one-to-ones are always one-to-ones. The biggest thing about the ratios for us is the ratio that we provide. We always try to provide a 20 or greater CBD ratio tablet or oil, and then a one-to-one, as well as the CBG, obviously. I know I keep talking about it, but it is seriously the hottest strain out there. But it's all dependent on what the CBD flower is. We don't try to manipulate it at all. Right now, we have a Valentine X tablet that's a 73-to-1 CBD. Wild. When that COA came out, I had to like double check. I was like, "Are you sure somebody did the math on this right?" But yeah, so it's all what the strain provides for us, right? And I think isolates have their place in the industry. They always will. But I think the true form comes from the plant itself, right? What the plant provides is what we need. We've been taking cannabis, we've been ingesting cannabis for thousands of years. Only in the last 125 years was it villainized, and we weren't consuming it. And then all of these, now I don't want to make any medical claims, and I don't claim to, but all of these ailments are coming out in the last hundreds of years. We have an endocannabinoid system. What's to say that we can't help out those ailments with consuming cannabis? So we really try to put out what the plant provides us with the ratios.
what the plant provides us with the ratios. How cool is that? The natural element of the plant come to life in a true wealth and wellness product across over 400 stores in California. And plans for other states, Kyle? What's going on with that?
Plans for other states in the
A
future?
solid empire here.
Yeah, in the future, we are a big fan of slow is smooth, smooth is fast, right? We don't want to overexpand. We don't want to get ourselves into something that's not going to be beneficial for us. Other plans are in the works in the future. Right now, we're trying to just get settled in California. You know, there's 1,200 dispensaries and delivery services throughout California. We're only in about half or a third of them right now. So we're just trying to stay in our lane and do what we do best and provide a high quality product at a low cost.
But what's going on with your guys' flavors? Like, are we going to see like some Tic Tac flavoring going on here soon to make this a little bit more fun? I know you guys wouldn't go with like the red 40s and the blue whatevers, but like, what are we doing? What are we doing to make this a little bit more fun or flavored? Is that a thing?
No, not really a
It's okay
thing.
to say
I
no
mean,
because I love the product. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I think that the terpenes provide a lot of flavor. You
You
know,
think? What about give me a lemon lime super lemon haze? You know,
yeah,
super lemon lime haze. You know what I mean?
yeah,
The the orange blue dream, like the Tic Tac orange. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Nasty. I love it.
No plans for flavors right now. Just trying to keep it simple. The tablet just meant to be ingested like a vitamin. The olive oil, I put some of the olive oil into a salad dressing, the tincture. I
Hmm.
got it here somewhere. Our Lifter CBD tincture, 50 milligrams per milliliter. So, it comes looking out nice
There
and
we go.
dark. It's a beautiful color. I
Yeah.
put some of this in a salad dressing the other night, and it was amazing. I mean, you could taste the terpenes in it. Um,
Yeah.
so I think mixing it with other stuff. I know I've put RSO, just the plain old oil, inside a little bit of a strawberry and chewed it up that way. Put it in milkshakes, put it in all sorts of stuff.
My man's done that experimented. Let's
Oh,
go.
dude, yeah, right. I mean, you got to try it all. I personally, I like putting the CBD in my coffee in the morning. It helps get me up. I try to get out to the gym as much as I can, so I'm obviously sore often, but it really does help.
Yeah.
It's not a placebo effect. I think we do have an endocannabinoid system for a reason. Our body is meant to take in phytocannabinoids. Those are the ones that you find in nature. You can find them in cannabis. The terpenes do a lot more than just taste and smell. Um,
Yeah.
there's so much to be said and researched. The future is looking really great for research. I mean, I feel like it's every day I'm looking at a new research paper or journal that's written about cannabis. I just read one. Gosh, I feel like I keep talking about CBG, but I just read one about breast cancer in the link to the anti metastasizing properties that CBG has. And I
Wow.
think that is so, it's just rich with information that we haven't been able to access for over 100 years. And these institutions, these colleges, they're just now scratching the surface of what cannabis can do. And it's so exciting.
I love that for you guys as we start continuing to figure out more uses for these different cannabinoids and the products that can deliver effectively
Yeah.
uh, to the right people. Like that's going to be crazy. Um, for circling back to like the programs that you guys are doing and involved with, you mentioned SB34. You mentioned some of these other compassion programs. How can people get involved, support, work? Was there more information somewhere for them, or is it your social media? Where can people get involved and support, and maybe if they need it, reach out.
Yeah, if you need any support, if you'd like to support, if you're a grower out there and you have some biomass or some flower that you'd like to donate, you can always, always, always reach out to us at info@emeraldbayextracts.com. That's a line that gets to either myself or the owners, and we can help direct you in the right way. If you're a patient, please reach out to us. We're happy to help direct you to the nearest location. I always ask people to get their medical cards, saves on taxes, gets you free product. It's a wonderful program that we do have. We support Wounded Warriors Project, SoCal Veterans Alliance. We've sponsored 5 families throughout California and giving them a year's supply of RSO. We work with pediatric clinics that provide some epilepsy patients with compassion products. There's
Wow.
space in it for everybody. So
Yeah.
I really encourage people, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out, man. We're here and we're happy to help. I mean, it's a labor of love for us.
In terms of accessibility, you guys are all over the place in California, right? When you said it like 1,200, and then you like, oh, we're only in a third of the stores. Okay, cool, yeah, but not everybody we don't want to be in, and we know that in this business here in California.
Yeah.
But where can people get your products? Are you able to share some locations in some different regions?
Yeah. Right here in the Sacramento region, we're in all of the Perfect Union stores. We're in all of the cake houses. We're just now getting into Walgreens. Let's see, some of these other big ones. We're in Cannabis Works in Santa Ana. They do amazing work with us with compassion work. If you're a veteran, please reach out to Cannabis Works. See how you can become, part of their Veterans Days. All the way up to Eureka. We're in the Gondry, Satori Wellness, Mocha Cannabis, Emerald Triangle, Dragonfly Wellness, Mendocino, Sol de Mendo, San Francisco.
Oh, he said challenge accepted. Okay, let's go.
Oh man, I can rattle them off for days. If you're looking for Central Coast slow, we're in Slow Cal Roots. We're at Elevate Lompoc.
Elevate.
Yeah, huge shout out to Toria Elevate Lompoc. That's my boy out there. He was the one.
That's my dog.
Yeah, he was the one that accepted all of the compassion program for little Marley Joe, and a huge shout out to them. They keep supporting that family, and I mean it's a unifying thing. With Healing Emporium, you go down to OG Collective, the Pharmacy Santa Barbara, the Pharmacy Santa Ynez.
Let's go, my man's going on all that.
I can rattle them off from the Earth Port Wenemy, from the Earth Santa Ana. Man, we got them all. I
love that. I love that for you guys, and I, going back, you can clearly feel, hear, and sense the passion from you guys and from you specifically. This is a business all about helping people, and these products have been specifically created, grown with intention, knowing that trying to get these products created and get turn into these products and get directly to the people that need it. With these different ailments, illnesses, chronic conditions, serious illnesses in some case. I appreciate what you guys are doing. Kyle, usually what I do before we let people get out of here is I like to give them the floor to talk about, just really anything that, they're pushing or anything you guys got going on. And so good opportunity. If you have anything going on this month or going on next month, we could talk about that. But the floor is yours. I appreciate you for your time. And for everybody watching this episode, brought to you guys by Infinite Chemical Analysis Labs. Make sure y'all tap in, look for products tested by these guys. Buy legal, buy tested, buy safe products. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Kyle, floor is yours.
Buy safe products. That's all I can recommend. Want to throw it out there for any veterans. We are having Memorial Day compassion giveaways at the Cake House Corona and Cake House Santa Rosa. Again, please feel free to reach out to us with any questions you might have. Happy to help in any way we can. Check out our website, www.emeraldbayextracts.com. There is a ton of information, more information than I could ever spit out in the last 40 minutes or so. A lot of articles written about different ailments. Even if you're a high tolerance consumer, there's something out there. Those 100 milligram tablets, they do hit. So if you're having a tough time smoking a ton and you want to take a little bit of a smoke break and need your tolerance still up, those 100 milligram tablets are the way to go.
Let's go.
Yeah. Last thing I want to say is just a big shout out to everybody from the Emerald Bay team. It is one team, one dream around here, and everybody pulls their weight equally, and we get things done.
Big shout out to the squad, man. I appreciate you showing love to them as well, and big shout out to the entire Emerald Bay Extracts team and you, Kyle, as well, for sharing your time with me today. For those of you guys watching today, is the California Cannabis Podcast. This is Emerald Bay Extracts. Our journey today brought to you guys by Infinite Chemical Analysis Labs. Make sure y'all tap in, like, follow, subscribe to the episode. Big shout out to you guys over on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, Facebook. We appreciate you guys for supporting and checking it out. And we will catch you on the next episode. Kyle, hang out.